go get some water. Hello, fellow heroes. What's up with it, guys? Are we going on YouTube? I don't think I'm live on YouTube. Oh, I am. Am I? Says I'm live. Says excellent. Okay, we're good. We're good. Everything's good. Everything's good. All right. All right. They changed YouTube up on me. It looks all different now. It looks all different. So, today, we're going to be talking about some stuff. We're going to be going into it. And we got more Silksong going for us. We got more Silksong that I'm looking forward to. So, let's get into it. Let's talk about some stuff. I thought that was funny. Ooh, that's a good one. Ooh, that's a good one. People still hate female characters due to sexism. I'm sure he does. We'll watch that here in a second, see what that is. Oh, this goes with this over here. This goes with this over here. And then we'll say this goes with this. And then, I think that's it. Oh, boom. This goes here. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay. So, I don't know the validity of this. Ooh. This could be problematic. Decline of Western civilization. We stopped worshiping the fertility of gods and started worshiping Baphomet. What? Yeah, that. I guess we'll get into that in a second. Oh wow, fun. Okay. Metroid Prime 4 if it had good dialogue. Oh, let's start the Metroid Prime 4 if it had good dialogue. Samus, I just moved with my freaking mind. Why didn't Samus say the same thing? Why didn't Samus say the same thing as her? I thought that was good dialogue. I thought that was good. You want to know why this isn't good dialogue? You want to know why? It's because it's relatable. You don't want to write things that are relatable. I know that sounds weird. That sounds crazy. Why would you not want to write anything that's relatable? Well, when you write, usually, there's exceptions. When you write something that's relatable, you tend to make it doesn't matter to the narrative or the plot. So essentially, it just ends up being fluff. When you write something that just tries to be relatable. If you write something that is empathetic or trying to make you understand the character, you now have to write something to where a character may start off one way, but then has to become a different way. Where a character may want something, but it doesn't agree with the narrative, so now you have to explain why that character fails or why that character succeeds. Which is why lines like this, I just moved it with my freaking mind, are bad dialogue. Because it serves no purpose. And why would you put something in a piece of storytelling or a product that serves no purpose? Why would you do something? You don't. You're just wasting time. You're wasting money at that point. Would it kill you to just play video game, guys? I knew when I was walking into Macaulay Culkin, I swear I just butchered his name, I'm sorry, on joining Fallout Season 2, learning the lore from watching YouTube videos. I think that's fine. I think that's fine. What's wrong? I think an actor's job is to act, and if they have source material to gain from and they understand the source material, just because they didn't go and put themselves in it like the rest of us did, doesn't mean they don't understand the game as much, right? Like I can play Elden Ring, I've played Fallout, but then I go and I watch a YouTube video about the lore and it gave me a completely different perspective than Fallout. Just because playing Fallout doesn't mean you truly understand the world of Fallout and what the story is trying to convey all the time, because the things you may do in that game may not be relevant to what the game is trying to convey, because it can be such a vast open world game, and doing everything can be a lot. I've never done everything into it. Now, also comes into the fact that, like, it doesn't matter how simple a game is. There are some people don't understand how bad other people are at games. Gamers forget how bad normal muggles are at video games, man. Like, just let the guy, I think it's fine that he just watched YouTube videos. I really do. I think it's fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think it's better than doing nothing, because then at least, and why is it good that he watches YouTube videos? Why is it good that he does something and nothing at all? Well, it's good because you know how to respect the source material. You know whether your character is being faithful to the series or not. And that's important. That's the same thing with like Henry Cavill and playing Geralt of Rivia. He knew his character was being faithful to the series because he had stuff to fall back on. And Henry Cavill played the video games and stuff, but I think before he even like read the books, and those were faithful. A different source medium, but was still a good source to pull from, right? Was still that's what I'm getting at. Is just because you didn't go to the source you wanted them to go to doesn't mean they went to a bad source. Now they can go to a bad source. They totally can, and we'll find out soon enough whether he did or not. These people have what is X? Stop. I don't want you. You know what? You keep asking. Explain this post. Go ahead, Grok. Explain this post to me. Go ahead. Let me see what you have to do. Since you keep advertising it to me, I'm so sick of it being advertised. Let me see what you have to say about this post and whether I agree with this post or not, because this is a post that has to deal a lot with the gaming community and a lot that's going on with people that like to be on social media and call themselves gamers. Screenshots your game mocking diverse woke female characters, designs from games like Baldur's Gate 3 and Mass Effect, contrasting them with AI-generated hypersexualized versions, claim to be improvements. Okay. Posted on by self-identified 3D artist, anti-AI advocate. The caption, "These people have never interacted with a woman outside of Twitter," and it shows, critiques the original post preferences as stemming from limited real-life social experience. With it highlights tension in gaming discourse. Oh, look, Grok understands. It highlights tension in gaming discourse between traditional artists valuing diversity and AI enthusiasm pushing idealized aesthetics, reflecting ongoing culture war dynamics in online community. Wow, Grok, that's pretty impressive. I'll have to say, that's pretty impressive, Grok. I'll give it to you. That's not too bad. Between traditional artists valuing diversity and AI enthusiasts pushing idealized aesthetics. Okay, so here's the problem with what Grok is saying right here. They're saying traditional artists valuing diversity. There's nothing really diverse about these women. They're all just men. So how is that diverse? To be fair, this other version where it's like, well, they all look the same as well, but at least I get the feeling that they're women, right? At the very least. That's the thing, is like, you can say, like, what do you want? Here's the thing. Diversity now means they all have to look like men or ugly, whereas like them not being diverse means they look like women. Like, I look at this, I'm like, oh yeah, that's a woman. And I think they're attractive. Why does men have to equal ugly? What's up about that? I like to think men are beautiful. I can't even finish that statement. So, okay. He says, all the feminists and soy boys out there posing as gamers are absolutely livid about my takes on beauty. Okay, so he even admits that this is his opinion, but it's obvious AI produces better art than any woke. Wow. I will say, in terms of artistic value, not like I think this girl's ugly. I think this girl's hotter than this girl. But in terms of artistic value, I would say like the one on the left is just better for each one, because lighting alone is just really good. Now, I think these girls are more attractive, but artistic value, I disagree. I think the ones on the left, just lighting alone is better. This on the right, the AI looks like Marvel MCU studio lighting. The one on the left looks like actual natural in-world lighting and textures. So I can't agree with AI produces better art than woke activists ever did. The woke activists produce nice art. Artistically speaking, woke activists actually make something that looks good. It's just not attractive. It's just not pretty looking. It's like vomit, right? Like, you could draw the best vomit in the world, but it's still vomit. Oh no, the heroine is an ideal representation and not an airhead. For real. Okay, so for real. Let me close this out real quick. Just look at how AI improved every single one of these abominations. So now, if we're going to be fair, he is talking about like aesthetically pleasing women to look at. That's what he means by look how AI's improved it. These guys could have made the argument that I made, where artistically speaking, AI still has some time to grow with lighting alone. Because look at this, like, I mean, the shading, the lighting, the details way better over here than it is over here. But instead, they choose to insult the user. And here's the problem. Here's the problem with, like, you want to talk about communities and cultures clashing and stuff like that. Here's the problem. Anytime you have to insult someone to get your point across, you make yourself, you lose the argument. Let's just be real. You lose the argument. One, you're deflecting from the main premise, from the main point. And two, who cares? Who cares? These people have never interacted with women outside of Twitter, and it shows. What does that have anything to do with regarding if these women look better than the ones that were put on the left side? Nothing at all. And they continue to do this kind of stuff. Suddenly a pattern recognition is valid again. I see how this works. They're criticizing and putting their opinions and saying that these are ugly women and they could be attractive women. Whereas, listen, I'm not saying there's a pattern, but there's a pattern. And calling these guys ugly, calling the people who want pretty women ugly, and like it's making a point. If you have to insult someone, it means you don't have a point. It means you don't have a point to make in the argument. You are failing the argument. You are failing to understand and make an objective point yourself. And why do they insult? Why do people go in here and they say, you know, someone posts this, but then they post this and they say porn addiction is something we don't talk enough about, right? Why do they go out here and they insult people's preferences, but they wouldn't insult you if it was preferences that aligned with them? Well, the reason that they go out of their way to insult people's preferences is because they don't have a point to make. And if you don't have a point to make, but you don't want to admit you're wrong, you just attack. You start throwing stones at people. And it's like, you make yourself look bad. You make the community you represent look even worse. And it's just pointless. And honestly, it's stupid. And you give more credit to the people making objective points against you. So if you really don't like what someone has to say, you need to do one of two things. You need to stay on topic, and you need to find a counterpoint that objectively applies to what they're having to say. And if you can't, then you need to understand where they're coming from and understand where you're coming from, and then decide how to move forward from there. But if you're just picking sides and being tribal about it, you're acting like an animal. Netflix CEO Ted Sarandos said the current state of the box office is a sign that people want to watch movies at home. Ooh. I saw this quote. I like this quote right here. The current state of box office is a sign that movies made for modern audiences suck. Hope that helps. I agree. I think the issue, I think in a time where more than ever it's easy to watch movies at home, movies need to step up their game. They need to stop trying to cater to a modern audience and just straight up just make something of their vision. I think Star Wars is a fantastic example of that. You look at Rise of Skywalker. Rise of Skywalker looks like they went into Reddit, they grabbed every Reddit post, every Reddit theory, and just threw it in the movie. Every single one that they could find. And when you do that, you're like, wow, this is just not entertaining. There's nothing to engage with here. And here's the thing. Here's the thing that needs to be important. You can rely on the consumer to tell you when something is wrong. You shouldn't rely on the consumer to fix the problem for you. They don't have the answers. If they did, we'd all be making movies right now. Literally waiting for 3 movies to go streaming because I don't want to pay $30 to sit in a crowd. And that's $30. Well, if you're buying popcorn and drinks, then I totally believe you. Also, yeah, the crowd. But here's the other thing about movies is that sometimes you think of like movies like Endgame, right? Because I do not like sitting in a crowd as well. I totally agree with you, bro. I totally agree with you right now. Because as fun as it is to go watch a movie opening night and to be part of a crowd, it can also lend to some of the most horrible experiences. Like sometimes it's a toss-up, right? I know consistently if I go watch movies on a Monday or a Tuesday after it releases, I'm going to have a better time in the theater than if I were to go on to watch the movie on a Thursday night or a Friday night. because I don't know what the crowd's going to be. Now, if I'm going to watch like an MCU Avengers movie, I want to go watch that on like a Thursday night. But if I'm going to go watch Dune, or I'm going to go watch, what's another like good movie that came out that I would not want to watch with a crowd? Wow, this year didn't have a lot of great movies, did it? I can't even think of anything off the top of my head. There's no way. What's a movie that came out this year?
F1.
Oh, F1. F1 was a good movie, but I loved F1. Kate came in with the assist. That was so early in the year. What else came out that was good this year? She can't think of anything. Nobody 2 wasn't that bad. Superman was all right. Superman wasn't great. Running Man wasn't good. Running Man was not good. Good movies.
I'm trying to even think of the movies we saw.
I know. Nobody 2 was all right. Jesus. Maybe they should get rid of movie theaters. No, but that's the point I'm making. That's the point I'm making right here, is the fact that like you look at the year 2025, and you can't even like, there should be banger after banger after banger movies coming out. You think of the year for video games, right? We have at least 5, 6, 7 bangers this year. Predator was okay. Chainsaw Man's anime, that doesn't count. That's horrible for me to say. Chainsaw Man's anime, it doesn't count. Chainsaw Man was good. How to Train Your Dragon was unfaithful to the original ever so slightly. I never talked about it.
Karate Kid,
Mission Impossible. Okay, we'll use Mission Impossible. So Mission Impossible is a movie that was made for the theaters. Karate Kid was good, but it wasn't great. Mission Impossible. You know what? The point that I'm trying to make is that like there are movies that I want to watch alone, right? And there are movies I want to experience with an audience. Watching Captain America pick up Mjolnir with an audience was freaking awesome. Watching Spider-Man 2 in the theaters was watching Helm's Deep as a kid in the movie theaters was epic. To this day, Lord of the Rings, Two Towers, Battle at Helm's Deep is a core memory in my mind because my dad took me to the movie theaters to watch that. I will never, ever forget the Battle of Helm's Deep and being in a theater when I saw it. I will never forget going to see Spider-Man 2 in a theater with my dad, right? You know what movies I did forget about seeing with my dad? The Star Trek reboot. Forgot about that real quick. Forgot about watching, I kind of forgot about Force Awakens. The only thing I remembered of Force Awakens was having to talk to my dad about like 5 chairs down because my siblings came to watch it with us and me and my dad sat in between all my siblings. But here's the thing. When you look at video games, right? You have 5, 6 banger video games that came out this year. You have so many games that you have Hollow Knight, Silksong that came out this year. You had Kingdom Come Deliverance. You had it doesn't help that I'm going. You had Mega Bonk that came out this year. You had Dispatch that came out this year. You had I have to name 6 examples. You have Expedition 33 that came out this year. You had Death Stranding 2 that came out this year. I don't know if I want to count Death Stranding 2 as much as I want to count some of these other games. But that's 6 games. 6 games. You know what that means? On average, every other month, you're spending $70, $60 to $70 to have a new video game. That's a good year, right? There should be at least 5 to 6 movies that are bangers a year to get you to go to the movie theater. There should be. Every other month shouldn't be that hard. And when you have modern movies that aren't that good, that aren't movies that people are dying for, that are being like, oh yeah, this is film of the year. Oh, this is the movie. You think of last year and how everyone was saying how Dune was the new Lord of the Rings for this generation, right? Every year we have video games that are starting to pop off. We have 5 to 6 video games that pop off every other month, man. Every other month we got something big. But when it comes to movies, we don't have that anymore. And that's what's going to save movie theaters. Quality, not quantity. When you see right here, what is the consumer trying to tell us? That they'd like to watch movies at home? Thank you. The studios and the theaters are duking it out over trying to preserve this 45-day window that has completely outstepped the consumer's experience of just loving a movie. Look, okay, give them a reason to go to the theaters. You give someone a reason to go to the theaters, they will go. They will go. And the experience of watching a movie at a theater with a crowd is different. You feel the tension. You feel the laughs. You feel what if you're going there as a critic, especially, you get to go back in tune. You get to tune yourself in with how normal people watch movies. But when everyone watches movies at home and then they go online and they debate about it, it's not the same. I just watched Mission Impossible. It was good, but was about 40 minutes too long. I agree. Yeah, Mission Impossible was okay. It wasn't as great as F1. Like, that's the thing, is like, I don't really care to watch a movie like Sinners with a crowded people. That's a movie I'd like want to watch by myself. Like action flicks, fun to watch with people. Rom-coms are probably fun to watch with people. But you have to. I think the modern audience is what's killing movie theaters, right? Now, Netflix, they want you to want Netflix. Of course he wants to buy Warner Bros. The less competition for him, the better, right? Of course he wants this. This would be great if there's only one spot for everyone to go for movies. Yeah, go to Netflix. Another reason to pay for another month of subscription, right? You have to now understand this. Understand this about subscription servers, because you think, oh, well, I don't want to spend $30. Oh, I have to get out of my car and go. I got to go drive to the movie theater. I got to go. Here's the thing. How many of you guys are not subscribed to something because there's nothing in that subscription service that interests you? People subscribed to HBO to watch Game of Thrones. How many subscribers do you think they lost when Game of Thrones ended? When there was nothing to fill in that void for Game of Thrones. People subscribed to Netflix to watch Stranger Things. So much so, mind you, this is proof that this is working. When they oh my gosh, I can't even think. My mind's going too fast. Breathe, Mario. Okay. When Netflix, who has constantly said in the past, this is verifiable truth, go look it up, they believe in their model, their binge watching model, right? They believe that you should binge watch things. Why is it that with their most popular IPs, like with The Witcher, with Stranger Things, they started putting them out in parts? Why? Why do they put them out in the first 4 episodes and the next 4 episodes are going to release later? Why is Netflix starting to do that? Because they need to retain audience members, because so many people come in, subscribe for one show, and then leave because there's nothing else that keeps them there. It's the same thing with movies, except you don't have to subscribe. You don't have to commit. You don't have to marry the freaking company. You have the freedom to go do it. Do you have to work a little bit more? Yeah, when you're single, you got to work for it a little bit more. But at the same time, you can go watch a movie for $10. If you're like me and you buy the popcorn and drinks every time, then yeah, you're probably spending more money. It's a popcorn, it's a cherry Coke, and it's a pickle every single time. And then if you want to splurge, get yourself some candy. And then you're spoiling yourself. But every single time here in Texas, it's popcorn, cherry Coke, and a pickle. It's the only time I drink cherry Coke is when I go to the movie theaters. And they usually only, I swear, I'm probably the sole reason that they have a cherry Coke dispenser left. Because anytime I go to a movie theater, they got Coke products up the wazoo, but there's, out of all the stations, they can have 5 different stations of Coke products. They can, and each one of them's got Sprite, Coca-Cola, Coke Zero, right? And then of the 5 Coke stations, there's only one station that has cherry Coke. And sometimes I go there and they're the new guy, I'll be like, hey, let me get a cherry Coke. And they're like, oh, we have cherry Coke? And I'm like, yeah, it's at that one down there. I swear, I'm the only reason why they still got cherry Coke there. No, that's not true. But it's usually like that at every theater I go to. Whenever I go to another theater, they also have like 5 different stations, and then there's just one cherry Coke. So it's the only time I get cherry Coke. But no, Netflix didn't pop off until they started winning awards. That's what you guys have to understand. Netflix didn't pop off until they started winning awards. And when they started winning awards, they told people, look, we have quality content for you to come here and watch. But whenever you get rid of that quality content, what incentive do people have to go and enjoy something? You give people incentive, they will do it. But this constant making something for the modern audience, and maybe, you know what? I'll go ahead. I'll write it down right now. I will work on a video that goes in depth and talks about why the problem with the modern audience. And I'll go in depth as to why. But as for like a summary, what's wrong with the modern audience right now? The problem with the modern audience is, the problem with catering to the modern audience is that it focuses too much on relatability. There's too much of a focus on relatability. There's too much of a focus on safety, on safe zones, safe areas, not wanting to step on any toes. So no one can write something of their vision, of their perspective, of their thing. There's too much worry about doing things my way so that you're a good person, and not doing things the other way so you're not a good person. Again, I can go more in depth in the video that I can make about it, but that's the issue with a lot of modern writing today. Relatability, all that stuff is extra. And when you have a bunch of pointless extra stuff inside of a movie, you are just putting in fluff. Everything you put into a movie should matter, should have a point to the narrative, to the story, every single time. Remember when there used to be all those competing internet search engines, and then Google took over everything and now controls exactly what you're allowed to see and hear? I can't help but remind you of that. If Netflix took over everything, especially big things like Warner Brothers, then they have full control over, they get the final say over what we're watching and what we want to hear and see. And basically, this put a chicken in and make it gay. Put a chicken and make it gay. Pirate Bay. Here's the thing. I don't think Pirate Bay is going to come back. The only reason Pirate Bay would come back because of Netflix is if Netflix became too expensive. Netflix became too inaccessible. As long as Netflix is accessible, people are going to pay for it. People are going to go for it. That's just the truth. Piracy becomes a thing, becomes popularized the less accessible something is. That's when piracy, that's how piracy works. But you make it accessible, you make it convenient. It also has to be convenient. Because if it can be accessible, it can be easy to access, but if it's not convenient to use the product, then people will go back to piracy. You also make it convenient. That's why Spotify. I mean, like, who pirates music anymore? Just pay for Spotify. You basically, any song I've ever looked up is on Spotify. Yo ho ho, I'll sail the seas till the day I die. Hey, yeah, that's a true one. That's a true one right there. Grok, I don't want, dude, X, Twitter, you gotta stop. You gotta stop pushing Grok on me. You gotta stop. I don't care. People still hate female characters due to sexism. Nobody hates female characters due to sexism. Nobody does. You say they do because you can't come up with a good argument. People don't like poorly written characters. People don't like forced narrative characters. People don't like relatable characters that are pointless to the narrative and don't serve a purpose for the plot. People are tired of girl bosses that tell you they're great but can't do anything to show you how great they are. I don't know what this guy has to say about this whole thing, but let's see. Brandon Morse explains it well. Nobody has ever been against female characters. Yeah,
the point is that audiences don't hate
characters.
strong female characters. What they hate are narcissists wearing those characters as a mask.
There you go.
This narcissism starts in the writer's room,
Yep,
where these
true.
talentless, ideologically obsessed hacks have no business being. They're just writing self-insert fan fiction, which usually involves them putting their socio-political opponents in their place.
Yup. It has nothing to do with the narrative. It has nothing to do with the characters growing. All it has to do is freaking narcissistic people self-importing themselves into a story. Self-empowering themselves into a story, I should say.
Power, feminist perfection. It's not just boring, it's insulting. It's like just nagging at us through a screen.
Yep.
Classic badass.
They're telling us how to feel. Not these characters showed us why they were badasses. These characters showed us why they were cool. These other characters nowadays, they just tell us that they're cool.
Who respected the character more than they loved themselves.
Yep.
Modern ones are written by people who obsess over themselves more than they respect the character.
Yep.
As a result, you get a lecture in a wig instead of a hero in a struggle.
Exactly. Why does it come off as a lecture and a rig? And that's the relatability factor I was talking about. Is when you write something that's relatable, there is no cohesion to the plot whatsoever. They're just making it all about themselves, all about relate to me. Do not understand me. Do not understand the decision or situation I'm in. Just look at me and accept me. And that's the wrong way to write a character. And honestly, if you ask me, the wrong way to really live your life. But I'm more of a writer than a therapist. So take that and with that what you will. Why does he sound like Nick from Parks and Rec? Who's Nick? Nick Offerman? Nick Parks. Does he sound like Nick from Parks and Rec?
Audiences aren't rejecting strong women. What they're rejecting is characters that exist solely to deliver someone else's TED Talk. And because of their selfishness and lack of talent,
dude, this guy is
they ruined it for all the other women.
I'm just saying.
Actually fun.
Brandon Morse? Who's Brandon Morse? Dude, this guy is preaching. This guy knows what's up. How would you guys feel if I reacted to videos on stream? I don't know who this Brandon Morse guy is, but I am subscribing to him right now. Look at this. Self-inserted cinema. Fans were right. This guy talks about a lot of the same stuff I talk about. Good stuff. Does he have an X account? Does he have a Twitter account? I don't follow Rock Solid. I feel like I end up bookmarking a lot of them stuff. Whatever. We'll follow Rock Solid while we're here. Oh my gosh. Franklin performs an exorcism on Sabrina Carpenter. I'm not a sex object. Also fitness. Make having sex with me the reason you do anything. It looks like he gets a little political. I like following video game people. We'll see. I'll watch some of his YouTube videos, see if I'll follow him on X. Nah, screw it. If I get annoyed with his post, I'll just unfollow him. All right. Oh. I don't trust Twitter. I don't trust my Twitter, to be exact. So that was a panic. That was definitely a panic close right there. That was definitely like a, oh my gosh, I'm going to save my channel from being freaking destroyed right here, right now. What were we gonna, oh, wow. If you saw it, you saw it just then. We'll move there. We'll move forward. Maybe I should have bought Metroid Prime 4. Maybe I should have bought the game. Okay. I think I talked about everything I wanted to talk about. I think the Brandon Morse thing was the last thing I really wanted to talk about. Other than this right here, the decline of Western civilization. We stopped worshiping the fertility when you let political capture fans. Mouse Utopia. I don't know. I don't know the point he's getting at here. All I know is Starfleet Academy that's coming out in January 15th. Like, I've completely given up on anything Star Trek related. Completely and utterly given up on anything Star Trek related. Like this, I saw this and I'm like, this looks like 90210, or this looks like freaking Gossip Girl. Like, what? How is this? She looks like she's wearing a freaking. How is this at all Star Trek? What is going on here, and why? Just why? And why do they have the? I don't know. Maybe I'm just putting things together, but like, why do they have the Klingon? The only other black person with the black girl. Like, what's going on with what? Why? I thought. I'm just maybe they're siblings. Oh no, they can't be siblings because he's an alien. I don't know. I just don't. I look at this and like, this is no longer made. Star Trek Love Island: Abandoned on Venus. Dude, for real. That is probably the most appropriate title that I'm looking at right here. Like, what? Like, someone made this and they said, yeah, this is Star Trek. This looks like Gossip Girl. This looks like 90210. This is like something off of CW, man. Like this doesn't look like it's made for Star Trek fans. Why would you? Let me ask people this. Why would you make something and rely solely on its brand? Why? Why can't you make, if you want to make a space high school drama TV show that's inspired by Star Trek, by all means, go for it and let it be inspired by Star Trek. I mean, Orville was inspired by Star Trek, but it ended up being more Star Trek than Star Trek, and then it turned into its own thing, and that's a different discussion for something else. Dawson Creek 2442, dude, yes, another better title for this than Starfleet Academy. Like, it's like, dude, it's just all they're doing is the brand. And the biggest argument for this, which pisses me off, is it's good that we have new people coming into the community. Why? Why is it good? Because it keeps it alive. Because it keeps getting funded. Yes, those are the good things, but at what cost? At what you bring in new audience members, you lose the old ones when you do stuff like this. So, does the status quo even ever change? What? Why is it bad to do this? Why is it bad to do this? Because you're no longer staying faithful to the brand you're leaning so hard on. And when you do that, you lose money. You lose people's jobs. That's why it's bad. That's why you shouldn't do it. Jeez Louise, man. Absolutely ridiculous. I don't even, this right here, I saw this, instantly was like, oh, this isn't for me. I have been a Star Trek fan since I was like 6 years old, man. Casual fan. I would watch it with my dad. We'd sit there, we'd watch it together, we'd have popcorn and pickles. It was great. It was great. And then afterwards, it was always like Oreo cookies and milk when watching Star Trek. And then I remember when Star Trek Enterprise came on, it wasn't that great, but I still watched it with my dad. And then I remember we went to go watch the other Star Trek stuff. And all I wanted was that same experience that I had watching Star Trek with my dad. And like discovery, social problem, or societal issues and problems, and talking about and people solving issues through the utopia they found through freedom. And then we get people like angsty teenagers. They at the very least, finally, they're marketing the show to the audience they're trying to get it to. At the very least, they didn't trick me. Or at least I'm smart enough not to get tricked anymore. Because I looked at this, and I would have been like, oh, it's Star Trek. I'll watch it because it's Star Trek. That's what old Mario would have done. I know better now. That's what they do. It's like those African frogs, South American frogs, where they're super colorful and they're poisonous and toxic. You just stay away from them. You don't touch them. All right, guys, I'm done. The Mario rants are over. Let's go play some Hollow Knight. Let's just go play some Hollow Knight. You know what I've been playing recently? Like off stream during my free times? I've been playing Classic WoW. I've been playing WoW Anniversaries, Classic WoW Anniversaries. Oh my god, I've been having so much fun. I've been having way more fun with Classic WoW than I've been having with Retail WoW. And I'm excited for TBC Anniversaries to come out. I am. I'm so excited. Just because I want to play a Blood Elf. I want to make a Paladin Blood Elf. That's it. I might actually like raid and stuff in TBC. I'll be bad at it because I've never done any of the raids, the classic raids before. I mean, but how hard can they be? It's been good though. I've had that MMO itch, and last time I had the MMO itch, I played Retail WoW, and I was like, dude, this fucking sucks. Famous last words. Yeah, true. True. Oh shit. I have a single Belf in your area. What's a Belf? I have a single Belf in your area? Siberian, but yeah, that's I don't know. I'll be playing for anyone that has the MMO itch and you want to get back into WoW. I suggest just playing WoW Anniversary. Now, if you've played it a million times, I have a single Blood Elf in your area. Yeah. I mean, Blood Elves were made just so people could play Horde, right? They get more people. Horde has way better racial stats. Here's the thing. In my entire life, my entire experience in we have like 5 minutes. We have 5 minutes YouTube before I switch over to the Hollow Knight stream. For anyone watching me on YouTube. My entire time I played Retail WoW, which I started playing WoW in Cataclysm. So I've basically only ever played Retail WoW because I think Retail WoW truly starts in Cataclysm. I don't know much about Wrath of the Lich King, but I've heard Wrath of the Lich King isn't as good as like TBC and Classic WoW, but I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, I heard story-wise, Wrath of the Lich King is peak. Like in terms of like story, in terms of like going after the Lich King and Arthas and all that stuff, like that is like peak lore, peak WoW, peak raid, fantasy, hype. But in terms of like the expansion overall and everything they added, not as great. Like you just stop at TBC, stop at Classic WoW probably. But I started during Cataclysm. Like really started to play because I'd played before. I'd played TBC, I'd played vanilla, but I was a kid and we didn't own internet, so I'd only play it like at my uncle's over the summer. But when I finally started playing WoW in retail, I was Horde all the way. Wrath is fucking peak WoW. That's what everyone says. I heard Wrath is good, but I also hear like there's a lot of things about Wrath that aren't as good. I've never played it. Wrath is the only expansion I really skipped as a kid, so I don't know. This is going down the olive branch. I know it's a controversial statement. Maybe in 3 years when they unleash Wrath Anniversaries, I'll play it and I'll let you guys know how I really feel about it. And I always played Horde. So now when I've played Classic WoW, when I've gone back and I've done Classic WoW, I've been playing Alliance. I've been an Alliance player. As a kid, Horde just seemed really cool and badass and kick-ass. Like, I didn't want to be a boring human. I didn't want to be a boring dwarf. I wanted to be like I wanted to be an undead warlock. I wanted to be a goblin rogue. I wanted to be a sexy looking blood elf. But Alliance has been really fun. It's also been a different perspective. It's crazy. I've played World of Warcraft for on and off as a major casual. You guys don't know how casual. I've like barely done any raids. That's how, like, an expansion comes out, I'll play the new expansion for 2-3 months, get caught up, touch the raid a little bit, and then get off and then stop paying for my subscription. That's how every expansion would go for me, because I got sick of the vertical integration of the game. I spent this entire 2-3 months getting the gear, doing mythic runs so I could do the raid, finally doing the raid, feeling badass, and then an update comes and now quest green gear is better than my epic loot. I was like, dude, fuck this, man. So I'd only play up until the first raid, and then I would just stop with every expansion. And then I'd play pre-patch. Like, if I skipped an expansion, like I skipped Mist of Pandaria, I skipped Warlords of Draenor, but I would play like the pre-patch, just to be like, oh, what's going on? What's happening? The only reason I refuse Classic is because they won't put the stuff I earn into retail. Yeah, that's annoying. Yeah, what's up with that? I kind of agree with that, Siberian. It should be connected via accounts. I kind of agree with that. That's a good take. That's actually a pretty base take. There's no reason why they shouldn't do that. It's not necessary, but they should do that. I think that's really good. I think that's a really good thing. I'm waiting for Welfare Island pre-patch for midnight, dude. Oh my god, dude. Dude, I don't want to talk about the WoW housing. You know what? We're going to talk about the WoW housing. Well, there was 1 minute, Siberian. We had 1 minute till I was going to start playing video games. And no, dude, WoW housing. No, we have to talk about this. No, because this pissed me off. No. We're bitching about Blizzard now. We're bitching about Blizzard now. So WoW housing. Let me see if I can find it. Get all my alts max geared without trying, so easy to get them sidetracked. Yeah, I don't want housing as it is. Yeah, housing just seems so freaking stupid. But they put it WoW housing currency. They put in a freaking currency system to Hearthsteel. Okay, yeah. What I want to Hearthsteel. Get out of here. Continue. Hearthsteel confirmed as new real money currency used to buy housing items. Dude, this is like, God, if store mounts weren't bad enough, if buying transmog wasn't bad enough, we want to take a moment to discuss some of our philosophies around the shop, Hearthsteel, and our plans on housing item acquisitions. Before diving too far, it's important to define Hearthsteel. Hearthsteel is a new virtual currency for World of Warcraft being added to Midnight Expansion. It's purchased with real money using your Battle.net balance and used to turn to buy housing items from Battle.net shop in-game shop. You couldn't just do a dungeon, kill a dragon, put the dragon's head as your mantelpiece, and then bada bing, bada boom, I've decorated my house while also interacting with the game. No! The first thing they thought of was Hearthsteel currency to buy stuff to put in your game. And they were people online. I didn't cover this because I'm a casual WoW player. I didn't cover this because I'm a casual WoW player and I don't really participate that much in the community as I used to. But people were like, oh no, this might be something else. They're not gonna do it. Oh, we're gonna be okay. We're not gonna have to buy stuff for a What else do you think they're gonna do? I bought my first and was like, and meh. I believe it. Like you want to know what purpose the housing serves in World of Warcraft? You know what purpose it serves? To put more money in Blizzard's bank. That's it. I don't think it serves any in-game function other than another reason for them to siphon the money out of your wallets. That's it. Why a virtual currency? This was one of the first things we heard the community discussing. Why bother when we already have Battle.net balancing? You want to know why? You want to know why? Because the more different currencies you have, the more you obfuscate the idea of spending money. The more that people have to jump through hoops to transfer their currency from one thing to another, the easier it is for them to spend their money. And if it didn't work, why do they do it? I say they should get rid of this kind of stuff in everything. In gachas, in loot boxes, and get rid of virtual currency. You just have it translate the dollar sign. Because what they do is it's a universal way for them to just be like, oh, you use this currency to spend money here. So regardless if you're paying in pounds or if you're paying in American units, American bucks, you can understand what V-bucks mean. That's why they want virtual currency. This is one of the first things we heard the community discuss. A more deliberate and cautious process needs to be implemented to provide appropriate financial protections for both parties. This can be inefficient, inconvenient, and often tedious process when a player wants to purchase multiple items. Barfsteel is also non-refundable. That's smart. That's so fucking smart. Oh my god, that's so smart. Because if the Hearthsteel is non-refundable, then you can't refund the bullshit purchases you make in store. So when you buy a stupid ass tree swing set inside your house, and all your warrior friends come over and they laugh at you for having the color pink in your house, you can't refund it because they've already got your money. God, man, I should just be a businessman. I should just go into entrepreneurship because, like, if people are dumb enough to give their money to you, you might as well just take it, right? Or you leave that pink sex swing alone here. Oi, you got a permit for that opinion? Smaller housing items in shop are often low cost, and players will want to purchase multiple of them. Oh god, we haven't even gotten to the best part, guys. You ready for this? Players will want to purchase multiple of them to complete a set. As an example, you may want a full set of chairs to place around a dining table, multiple place settings for your invited guest, or even candles to help decorate the room for a complete look. Using an in-game currency can help make the process of obtaining many of these type of inexpensive items more efficient. Holy shit, guys. Let me show you something. You see this chair right there? You see this chair? Look at this. Look at that. You see that? Oh. Look at this. Look at this right here. How do I don't know how to use edit in Paint. There we go. Look at that. See this? How do I grab it? Layers. Just copy it. Make a new one. See that right there? See how I just made 2 of them? See how I just pressed a button, made 2 of them? Blizzard's making you pay them to do that. Blizzard is paying you, is asking for your money to hit a copy and paste. You don't just buy the chair once. You have to buy the chair 4 times if you want all your friends to roleplay sitting around a table. They are charging you to copy and paste. We had a guildie spend 30,000 on a fence to keep people out. God damn. No, 30,000 hearth steel? Holy crap. That's exactly what they want you to do. They got him. They got him hook, line, and sinker. Every other game. Dude, Awakening. 30,000 euros? Oh, you got it. Oh, that's even worse. That's even worse. God, dude. I gave him the benefit of the doubt and thought he spent 30,000 hearth steel. Dude spent 30,000. That dude just paid for an intern's salary. Your guild member friend just paid for an intern's salary. This is why this stuff won't go away. This is why this stuff won't go away. It's because people spend $30,000 to build a fence. Someone had the crazy idea that we should charge them to copy and paste items. I played Dune Awakening and I could copy and paste more items for free than I could in this game. $30,000. $30,000. I can't. I gotta get up, guys. I can't after that. Excuse me. I gotta go tell Kate that. real quick. I'm gonna run ads. I'll be right back. Oh my gosh. That's just absolutely terrible. I can't believe $30,000. $30,000. What's up, Panda? What do you need help with? I'll be back. Oh, he said no ads, so they'll be over pretty soon. If not over now. Shit, dude. You know what? I went and I told Kate. What you just said, Ziberian. I said, and she didn't believe it. She said, no way someone spent $30,000. And you want to know why I believe you, Ziberian? You want to know why I believe you? Meat. Because of this right here. Oh. Where is it? Meat. 40,000. Right here. There's a boat in where Winds Meet, the new MMO, that costs $40,000. There's a boat in an MMO that costs $40,000. That's why I believe you. And people have bought this. Eve has those too. Eve Online, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. You know what else probably has those? You know what else probably has a $40,000 boat? Actually, I'd be surprised if it doesn't. Star Citizen. Welcome back, Panda. I bet Star Citizen's got some expensive. Can I see their ships? How much are their ships? Shop. Subscribers. Oh, I probably should have looked at merchandise. How's this game not out yet? How is this game not out yet? Can someone explain that to me? They have merchandise, mouse pads. I need a new mouse pad. They got ships on here that are worth. Oh! There was ships. $60, $45. What's happening? We're about to go play Silk Song. That's what's happening. $150. It's in beta for 14 years. Jesus. $200. $150. These are like real money. At the very least, Star Citizen doesn't even put it behind a different currency. $315. Absolutely ridiculous. Are these actual vehicles in game? Yeah, they're vehicles you buy in game. That's what they are. $175. Okay, not as expensive. Not $40,000. Not like $40,000 worth. All right, YouTube. If you're watching me on YouTube, go to my other stream that should be already up. Go to that stream. We're gonna go play Hollow Knight Silk Song. I've been starting my streams at 2 p.m. now. It's been fun. It's been good. I might start them at 3 p.m. because I like prime time. But the reason I started them at 2 p.m. is so that I can end my streams at 5. So that I can spend so I can have some family time, quality time for the rest of the day. But we'll see. Kate likes to come home and take a nap, so maybe ending my streams at 6 o'clock might be perfect for me, for the audience, for her, and it'd be absolutely great. So someone is selling a vehicle for $40,000 IRL for an in-game boat, exactly. And you know what? It's selling. It's not someone. It's the companies. The companies are selling it. Companies are selling it for that much. Okay, YouTube. That's been the 101 on the industry. That's been a Mario rant, YouTube. Until next time, play nice. End the stream on YouTube. And then